now, Notre Dame is number one.
Notre Dame with a miracle win as the
He's going in. Notre Dame has scored.
Well, great atmosphere here in Chicago. It was for our guys. They weren't sure what to expect, and then when they came out and ran out of the tunnel, it was a pretty exciting atmosphere. They're used to, Notre Dame Stadium and 81,000, but the 60+ thousand that were here tonight made for a great atmosphere here in Chicago. So again, from our standpoint, our football team really fed off that energy. Again, I think it's pretty simple. You guys were there. We controlled the line of scrimmage, played physical today, and defensively, after we settled down to the speed of the game, limited a very good offense to not give up. We didn't give up the big plays, and certainly we got a couple of breaks early on. I thought we adjusted well to the speed of the game after the first quarter, and again, we've now held the University of Miami, Michigan, and Michigan State to not scoring a touchdown, and that's an incredible feat for our defense. I thought Everett grew up today. He did some really good things throwing the football for us, managed some pressure situations very well, and he had his best week of practice. And that's why I named him starter on Thursday based upon the way he prepared. It was his best week of preparation, and we saw that on Saturday. So with that, I'll open up to questions.
Brian, it looked like you found something on the right side in the second half. Was that an adjustment at halftime, or did it just kind of go that way in the running game?
There were a couple of factors there. Obviously, you know who's on the right side, Juan Martin. So we made sure that we ran the ball between those two. Those guys are outstanding and felt like they could control the line of scrimmage. And then we used some formations to get some good matchups. They were rotating their coverage to Eifert quite a bit, and again, it opened up a lot of things for us in the running game.
Brian, when did you make the decision to, suspend Everett briefly? Was that just a Friday, team meeting type thing? What happened there?
Yeah, our team rules are pretty simple as it relates to being on time. It wasn't a big thing in terms of a disciplinary approach, but we have high standards, and we hold all of our players to those standards.
And just what lesson do you want him to take away from the experience?
I want our guys to be accountable. He was accountable. He knew that, he's got to do a better job communicating. Look, he was meeting with a professor, and he lost track of time, and he knows he's got to communicate with us and do a better job of that, but he took full responsibility, accountability for it. Thought he came in and played very well. I was proud of him today.
And on the field, the impact of incorporating him into the run game a little bit more, what do you think that did to Miami's defense, and how much do you think that opens up your offense?
Well, as I said, I probably said this last week, that we really took a hard look at where we were offensively and knew that we had to open up the offense, and formationally, as well as the zone read game, which obviously helps us quite a bit in focusing on the run game.
Ryan, right here. Early on, they got behind your defense a couple of times and had drops. What was the adjustment specifically?
Just the speed of the game, being off a week and not really getting the opportunity to duplicate that kind of team speed. We were in position, but we didn't finish the play. We were in very good position. I think they felt like, hey, we're in good position, and then that burst at the end, and then they saw it. We made it pretty clear to them that they had to pick up their pace, and they did a very good job in the second quarter moving through the rest of the game.
Brian, to your right, you're not a big time of possession guy, and as it
I am on these days.
You dominated today, but going into the game, did you feel that this might be one of those kind of games where time possession was a little bit more important than normal?
Yeah, clearly we felt like we would find a way to run the football today, and our game plan was situated on running the football, which equals time of possession for us. So we felt like if we could keep them from getting the big plays, and we could run the football, that was going to be our recipe for success.
And then going to Sarah Wood in the third quarter, I think he had 15 or 16 touches. You tell them at halftime, we're going to let you get a lather up and
You know how we've commented on this before. We go with the guy that's running well. He did a great job on one of his runs where he showed great patience, stepped on the heels of the guard and bent it back. He had not done that this year, and he too had a great week of practice, preparing himself to do what we've asked him to do, and we saw that kind of success. A lot more patience with our backs, letting our O-line get on their blocks, and obviously it paid big dividends for us today.
Brian, a lot more, kind of piggybacking off that, a lot more George and less Theo in the second half. Did anything happen to
Yeah,
Theo?
he had a bruised elbow, and he probably could have carried with his left arm, but we were running well with those two guys, and George had just hit a couple in there, so there was really no reason to throw a guy in there that had an elbow bruise. So we felt like it was prudent to just play those two guys.
How badly did Golson need a night like this and a stage like this after Michigan and after some of the questions?
Well, it was important for me, after disciplining him, to get him back in the game right away, to let him know that I had trust in him and that I believed in him. And so I think that helped him to go in and be relaxed and feel like, hey, I've got the head coach's support here. Even though I goofed up, he's going to put me right back in the game. And I think that really helped his confidence, and then he backed it up with his play.
Coach, over here to your left. You talked a couple days ago about developing patience in the run game. Was that the biggest difference to let you guys get going in that today?
There's a number of different things. I mean, I thought that, formationally, we put them in some very difficult positions based upon the way they play. They like to spin a safety down in particular. They were doubling up Eifert quite a bit. It opened up the running game for us. Tyler, he only got 2 catches, but he impacts our offense incredibly. And they're paying a lot of attention to him, and it's opened up a lot of things. So formationally, I think our backs ran well, and I thought we blocked it very well up front.
And then Miami helped out with a few key penalties in key situations. How big of a factor were those?
Well, I think, cumulatively, time of possession was huge. I'm just looking down here right now in terms of penalties. They had 9 penalties that put us in a position to score some more points in the red zone.
Just to follow up on the defense real quick, for the secondary to hold that team without a touchdown after all Miami had done coming into this game, what's that do for that confidence?
You couldn't script it any better. You've got some young players out there. I thought Kaveri Russell tackled soundly today. We worked hard on his skill level, increasing as it relates to tackling. One of the lost arts that seems to be out there is tackling, and Coach Diaco did a great job with the tackling circuit this week. I think it just continues to build confidence in Matthias Farley. It was big for the confidence level, but also they believe in themselves, and that's a good thing when you're moving into the next week with Stanford.
Wood's run that you referred to, was that the 37-yard run in the third quarter, or was that a different run?
It was the 37-yard in the third quarter.
Coach Kelly, in terms of Everett running the football, was it more so the playbook opened up for him, or he was just able to make those reads today?
No, we hadn't run any zone read before. We weren't comfortable going into that part of the playbook. He's done a better job with it. We feel more confident in doing that with him. He's got to take care of the football. He put the ball on the ground. But, again, that's the next step for us. So we talked about our offense needed to step up and start to elevate its play. And today was a player in particular, a group, and then some plays that all came together in a very good fashion for us. All right, thanks, everyone. Thank you.